Hello everyone, this is Nicole again, and I am here today to talk about coffee and insulin. First of all, these videos are just my personal experience and they are not to be confused for medical advice, so please do not use these as medical advice. Okay, I am choosing this topic because in the last couple of months, this has been a very important part of my day, as it always is, but I've really had to kind of tackle it because I have a mom who's looking over my shoulder, looking at everything I'm doing and asking why. So 13 years I've had diabetes. I have from the early on figured out that coffee causes a rise in my blood sugar. I have done lots of reading on it. I think this is due to the caffeine amount and not because of carbs. But a couple of years back, let's say 6, 7, 8 years back, I determined that I needed 6 grams of carbs per cup of coffee. And that was with just a little bit of milk and Splenda. So there really wasn't a good explanation other than the caffeine. Since then, I have graduated to sugar-free vanilla creamer, which although it's sugar-free is not carb-free. So I've had to add more carbs to my, to my intake. Yeah. So I'm now up to 16 grams of carbs per cup. Again, I think 10 grams is really kind of from the actual creamer. And I think that original 6 is just because of the caffeine. So now, because I'm getting up in the morning and I'm seeing these huge spikes when I have my morning cup of coffee, and now that people are paying attention, and I can't just make them go away, I'm being forced to take a look at what is happening and why. So the first thing I thought is, I'm with the 670, I am doing insulin further in advance than I have done in a long time. I used to just I used to do a food bolus and then eat. With the 670, I'm starting to find that it's good to give myself a little bit of a head start with the bolus. So I was looking at my insulin and I was thinking, maybe I'll give myself a little bit of a head start for the coffee, right, and try to head off the high. I also thought that maybe having coffee first thing in the morning, this is kind of, from the beginning of time, on an empty stomach, maybe that's also not a good thing. So I started having 1 piece of Baby Bell cheese in the morning. And then when I got up, first thing in the morning, I would do insulin for 2 cups of coffee, which for me is 32 grams of carbs. So let's say I get up at 6:15 in the morning. I would get up, first thing I would do is calibrate, and I'd enter 32 grams of carbs. By the time I get downstairs and I make a cup, it could be anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes after I've done the insulin. So that's the second thing. There's a delay. So I have cheese, I do my insulin for 2 cups, and then I start drinking 15 to 20 minutes later. Then I sip slowly, which is hard for me, was hard for me to do. Now it feels like it's very human. But I sip it very, very slowly. I drink 1 cup of coffee over maybe 25 minutes or 30 minutes. And then I watch my sugar the entire time just to make sure I'm not dropping, but usually I'm not. Usually I'm hanging around a 150, 160, and that's okay. And then if I deem it a good time, I start the 2nd cup. I also drink it very slowly, and the entire process sometimes takes 2 hours, which is crazy, but I think about normal people who drink coffee and I go, yeah, that's probably how it is supposed to be. So it's good. So it's okay. So I eat cheese. No, so I get up, I calibrate, I do insulin for 2 cups. I start 15 to 20 minutes later. I sip slowly. I watch my sugars the entire time. And then I drink the 2nd cup equally as slowly, and that's it. And I come out of it at a 165 instead of coming out of it at a 240 or 285 or whatever it is. And the only other thing, and this is the part that makes you feel like your life is not in control, is that sometimes I have to take it to the head and just hurry up and drink it because I see that I am starting to crash. And sometimes I have to slow down and drink it even slower, and it can get cold and whatever, But I'm really grateful for my coffee, and I'm not letting them take it away from me. So that's it. That was a long video. Sorry, and bye.